we have now another controversial topic to discuss in the world of sports.
That's all we do.
And it once again revolves around Shannon Sharpe and Caitlin Clark. But now this go around, we're going to throw Sha'Carri Richardson into the mix because it came across like Shannon Sharpe has a bit of a double standard that he's kind of holding these women to.
Mm-hmm.
Jay, do you have that?
Yes, sir.
So Shannon Sharpe on Sha'Carri Richardson not making the Olympic team. She could have competed. She didn't qualify to compete. Stop the bulljive antics. Train hard. Sports aren't sympathetic. You do or you don't. Shannon Sharpe on Caitlin Clark not making the Olympic team. Name a more popular woman basketball player right now than Caitlin Clark.
Boy, if that ain't a double damn standard, I don't know what is.
I don't know how you'd say of one. You could have trained to compete. You didn't qualify to compete. Train harder. Sports aren't sympathetic. You either do achieve what you're set out to do or you don't. And then in the next breath, he's like, "You're popular. You should automatically get a pass."
No,
bro. That doesn't equate to me. Like, it doesn't make sense. I'm gonna start with you, Jay. When you see something like that coming from a minority's perspective, what do you think about that, man? Like, what do you think when you see? And I'm not trying to drive it towards racial, but it's almost like, hey, he's had a bit of a reputation for being a little unfair towards African American women as opposed to Caucasian women.
Yeah.
But when you see something like that, man, what do you think? Like the thought process in general, and then ultimately with the whole, Sha'Carri Richardson's one way, Caitlin Clark's another.
My first thought when I read that was hypocrite. And it's like I don't understand. Or maybe I do understand. I think it's just him playing to his base. It's he's like somebody else that plays to their base. He has a crowd that he has to entertain that makes him money, right? So he has to stick up for that same crowd, even if it's against someone of his own race. And I'm not saying that you should be on the side of somebody that is the same race as you, right? But I don't know if you guys remember when she pissed hot for marijuana, which she had it in a state where it was legal, but that's neither here nor there.
It's not legal in the Olympics, though.
It's not legal in the Olympics. You're right. You're correct. But still, it should be. It's legal damn near in almost every state but ours. So,
but not the Olympics.
But not the Olympics, whatever. I mean, you didn't take golds away from swimmer boy, what's his name?
Phelps.
Michael Phelps.
Yeah. You didn't take those away, so obviously it wasn't that big of a deal. It's just crazy to see, like you said, Joe, the double standard of the whole thing. Like, and maybe he doesn't get it or doesn't see it, and I'm not gonna, I don't think he protects black women. I'll say that.
Do you think he was shucking and jiving on that?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. And it's sad to see, it's sad to say, but you get the position he's in. Think about the money he's making right now.
The
you know?
platform he has.
Yeah. So, with that being said, he has to answer that. He has to be on Caitlyn's side if he wants to continue to be making money. That's the thing about being in show business. You got to know the crowd you're playing to and who's filling your pocket and who's not. So,
T, what about you, man?
I mean, bro, I think that uh, I think he was being hypocritical, man. Like I like Shannon Sharpe. Like I tuned in to Undisputed solely because of his takes. Um, I don't really keep up with First Take, but on occasion I'll catch Nightcap and Club Shay Shay here and there. But bro, you literally just threw out the biggest double standard ever. Like I don't want to make it about race, but it's hard to say that you didn't just shit on a black woman, honestly.
yeah.
Like just because like how can you say that Sha'Carri wasn't training hard, that she didn't work hard? Like this young lady should have qualified for the Olympic team. And I'm not trying to take anything away from Caitlin Clark because I also think that she should have qualified. I saw recently that she's on now as an alternate, but
So
how can you
so
go ahead?
all the uproar of her not making it made her an alternate now
I think the
on the
head
team.
coach of the women's national team said something to the effect of, when we created this roster, it wasn't based on popularity. It's based on who we thought was going to give us the best chance to win. And I'm just kind of paraphrasing what she said, but in all honesty, Caitlin Clark gets a lot of eyes. She's drawn a lot of hype. She hasn't necessarily overwhelmed anybody. It's been kind of a
This is
dud
true.
so far.
Lackluster.
So
Yeah, for sure.
so for the coach to come out and kind of justify it that way, like, hey, it's not anything as far as, oh well, she's popular, we're gonna put her on. It's the team we have is a team we feel like is gonna lead us to a gold medal. That's who
Yeah.
we pick. We're not
But
gonna necessarily buckle to the media and peer pressure of bringing in Caitlin Clark because she's popular.
but
But
now
that's the thing though, bro. Like people are in those with those decisions, they're weighing, okay, we win the gold medal, is that gonna bring more eyes to the game, or are we just wanting to win a gold medal? Or do we bring on this girl, although she's pretty good, she's gonna bring more eyes to the sport because people want to see her. So now I feel like they're weighing, you know, do we want to win the gold medal and stay where we're at, or do we want to potentially not win the gold medal, or even they could win it with her, or and get more views to our sport. Um,
Look
to
at it
your
from
point,
this per. Go
I
ahead, Jay.
think that
to like the soccer, this it was kind of similar, the whole soccer thing with um women's soccer being kind of on the back burner when the men's were doing so great, and then the women started coming up and doing great, and nobody was
and they,
really watching them and going to their games or anything like
yep,
that. And then
yep.
like now it's basically the same thing, but I mean, I don't know that.
I mean, but I think those are the decisions that the WNBA and who's picking the players for the Olympic team. I
Yeah.
think those are decisions that they were weighing. And then, but in regards to Shannon Sharpe, bro, like I just don't understand how you could say that or insinuate that Sha'Carri didn't train hard, that she didn't
Well,
work hard.
not only
Uh,
that, she's won so many championships this year.
there
Like,
you go. Like this young lady, I mean, I wholeheartedly believe that she should have qualified for the Olympic team, and that she would
Yeah.
have made the Olympic team better. She had, from what I've seen, she had one bad showing when she came back from suspension, and
Mm-hmm.
then after that, she's been cutting ass
On
out
top.
there.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
um,
Running people down.
yeah, like, so here we are. But yeah, I definitely agree with you, Jay. I think that there was a double standard in those statements, and you know, Shannon. I think Shannon will, if he sees enough of it, he'll walk it back. But he also
He
appears
won't
to
take
be
a firm
stepping up
stance on the
to.
walk back. He'll
No, he won't.
No,
definitely
he'll beat
he'll
around the
Yeah.
soften it. Right. He'll
Yeah.
soften
Yeah.
it and be like, well, that's pretty
This
Yeah.
is what I
reasonable. But
meant. Yeah,
yeah, I was
but
going to tell you guys, like, look at it from the perspective of the women on the actual national women's basketball team that had to bust their ass to make the team.
Yeah.
And
Mm-hmm.
then it's like, we already had that conversation about how maybe Caitlin's getting a little roughed up, how the
yep,
other women in the league kind of resent the fact
Yep.
that she is kind of getting that shine. Now you
Mm-hmm.
put the pressure on the U.S. women's national team, like put
Yep.
her on because she's popular, bro. Do you think those teammates are gonna welcome her as openly as if she would have earned it?
I wouldn't at all, bro.
You know what I'm saying? Now,
Mm.
now you're just
Yeah.
building more resentment, possibly. So the women could just be like, hey, you know what? We understand it kind of is what it is, but
Bro, you know how catty women are towards
a normal
each
person,
other.
bro, me, if I'm busting my ass to get something and I see it handed to you, I'm gonna be pissed off.
Yep. 100%.
Whether it's
That's
your
any normal
decision or
person.
somebody
Yeah.
else's decision, I'm gonna be
Mhm.
pissed off.
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah.
We had that discussion before about when we worked at a certain place together, and that particular company was talking about bringing people off the street in that was going to be making exactly what we were making. And I'm sitting there like, bro, how you gonna bring somebody in with no experience and they fresh off the street and I've been here 5, 6 years and busted my
Season,
ass to get to this
tenured.
to
Season.
this
Yep.
to this pay, and you bringing these people in and they making what I'm making? Man, hell
Yeah.
no. Like, hell no. So yeah, like you got a point there, Joe. You got a point there.
Julio, man, last but not least, we're gonna let you take the floor on this so you can knock this segment on home, man. What are your thoughts on this whole situation with Shannon Sharpe?
I mean, yeah, I agree with you guys as far as, I believe that there is a double standard there, but then I can see all points of view as far as, Shannon having to play to his crowd, having to play to the fan base or the viewing base that he has, right? So, and again, we've talked about this plenty of times before on the podcast where, everybody likes drama. So he could say one thing in one breath of a sentence and then say something else to be contradictory to what he said originally and stir up some stuff. So a lot of that goes back to, what side are you on? Are you on the side of should this player get shine because they're so popular and they've raised us popularity for this sport? Or should they be in the actual team because they made the actual effort? They've shown that they've proved to the coaches that are coaching these teams, yes, they are a valid player. They are somebody that's valuable that will help us win a championship. All of those things come into play. So for me, it's like part of me feels like, yes, you can't sit there and base your judgment off of what you've seen, and you can kind of go off to that point to where you say, hey, this person brings views to our sport. This person brings a lot of eyes towards what we're doing here and what we're trying to accomplish and how we're trying to grow this sport. And then you have another side where, from a coach's perspective, you would be like, I want to make sure that I'm picking the right person to be on our team to be able to ensure our success, to make sure that we are going to win and we're not just going to go out there and just put somebody out there because of their name just to get views. So I'm kind of in the middle on this. I do believe that Shannon was, very contradicting when he said one thing about one person and then says something else about somebody else. So I mean, I can't call it. It is what it is. I think he's just playing to the media from my perspective, and that he's just trying to get more views based off of what he's talking about. Because of course, like you guys said, he is playing to his fan base. He is playing to get more views, to generate more revenue by causing more drama, because everybody loves drama. Everybody loves to see that back and forth. And well, he's wrong for saying this thing, but why did he say this about this other person? It's always going to be a constant there. So, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, yes, it was contradicting, but I think it's at the end of the day, it's business for him.
Yeah. Yep.
Thank you, boys. I appreciate your thoughts. That was, I mean, like I said, when we saw that earlier this week, I was like, man, that's a unique way to kind of look at this, almost the same scenario, but have two different perspectives. So it kind of caught me off guard. Good stuff, though, man.